Hi guys, Andrea Florian here from the Florian Realty team with a brief little market update from our team. It's been a little while since we did one of these updates, but it has been a little bit crazy on our end and for most realtors these days. And so we just thought it might be time to step in and give you a little picture of what's going on. As you can imagine, there's a lot of things that have been in flux over the last couple months, over the last several months, and these last couple years, even on a bigger picture in terms of what's happening as interest rates go up and prices come down. And we've been seeing a lot of different scenarios for different people. It's not all a one kind of statement that we can make for people ever in this market, but especially these days now. So depending on your situation and depending on what you're trying to consider as your next move, or even long-term, what you're thinking about retirement plans 5 years, 10 years from now, this would be a good one to start listening up to. If you're considering an investment, listen on, because I'll touch base on that a little bit as well too. First of all, September is usually a quieter time for us in terms of real estate. We tend to find that a lot of the spring market inventory that comes on seems to load up into June, and then throughout the rest of the summer, not a ton can come on depending on the market. Some will come and go, but for the most part, like throughout the summer, especially since COVID, we find a lot of people going away for the summer. So it can tend to slow down. It seems like there's more opportunity for buyers out there, but really by the end of August, we see a lot of properties start to get scooped up again as people come back from their vacations and start to show motivation again to get back into the market or to go ahead with the plans that they had originally started off from before they took a pause. Kids are home, people are busy. It's really hard to stay focused on task, even though there might be a plan in place. So with that being said, September usually for us is a little bit of a quieter time in terms of our buyers and sellers, because people are also getting ready to put the kids back in school and get used to new routines and all that kind of life stuff that happens. And for us as a team, we usually hunker down and spend that time starting to talk strategy and trying to educate ourselves. We spent a lot of the fall months educating ourselves and making sure that we're staying on top of what's about to come and come our way. With that being said, this time last year, we anticipated that with interest rates going up, that we were going to see a huge drop in prices. In fact, when interest rates went up last fall, for 2 whole months, we sat waiting, hoping with bated breath that, all of our first-time home buyers, our young couples who were renting, anyone who was just trying to get into the market, that would be their chance. And last year, what we saw happen was that prices did go down a little bit, but we all got a little bit greedy, including us realtors, hoping they would go down more so that our buyers could get into the market. And they didn't go down as much as we'd hoped they would. And in fact, before we knew it, we felt like we blinked and prices were back on the rise again. So really, at the end of the day, where the market is headed is something that we don't always know. And so as we are looking at prices going down right now, which is happening, we are finding that people are again waiting and sort of waiting on the sidelines, waiting to see what will happen. And I know we talked about this in previous videos about the whole idea that you marry the house and you only date the mortgage. So mortgage rates may be up and people are trying to find more creative ways of getting financing. Some people are doing temporary financing just for a year at the higher interest rate and taking the hit now with the hopes that when interest rates come down, they'll have bought a home at a lower purchase price and then turn around and remortgage and get a better financing situation. So there's a bit of cost up front, but they're taking a chance and hoping that that's what's going to unfold, and which may be one of the scenarios. When it comes to real estate, as always, it really depends on your goals and your needs and what you're hoping to achieve, but as well as your ability to handle stress and how you want to strategize the market. So with that being said, one thing that we're noticing is we're getting, I'm personally getting so many pieces of mail from realtors with these big grand statements saying average home price in this neighborhood. And I'm like, I live here and that is not the average home price in my neighborhood. And I would never let anyone sell for that low, or wow, that's a really high number. That's definitely not true in any way whatsoever. So as you know, as a team, that's something we absolutely refuse to do. We will not put out blanket statements with average home pricing. And they talk about benchmark pricing and all kinds of other ways to strategize it. But at the end of the day, it really depends on your pocket and what you're hoping to buy and what you're hoping to sell and how many are on market. So when I throw a number out to you today, like there's 450 on the market for Burlington, that's great. And it makes me look like I know what I'm talking about. But at the end of the day, if I don't qualify that for you and for you personally with your goals, then I'm not going to be really helping you make great decisions for you. I will say that 450 is a high number for an amount of homes on the market for Burlington. Now, years ago, over a decade ago, when I started out in real estate, three or 400 homes on the market was a pretty nice, even balanced market. You'd be on the market for maybe 30, 40 days. You could basically look at it and say, you're going to be on the market for 29 days, but you will sell. There's nothing wrong with your house. During COVID, initially we saw that we were down to sometimes 60, 120, like really low numbers of homes on the market with all those Toronto buyers coming in. So we had less than a quarter of what we needed to be in a balanced market in terms of numbers of inventory. But on the other hand, we had all of these extra buyers coming in and soaking up what inventory was there. And all of a sudden we saw these leaps and downs in prices. Now that that's all calmed down a little bit and we're seeing the dust settle, we're seeing that we do always have, I mean, even before COVID, Burlington, Oakville, Milton, we've always seen a good, healthy influx of Toronto buyers coming our way because it's just so appealing in terms of pricing. We've got great quality of life in these neighborhoods. It's really not that challenging to commute into the city. And on top of that, if those people are downsizing, I've seen people in their 30s go mortgage-free, moving from Toronto to Burlington and laughing all the way. So there's lots of opportunity here, depending again on your situation. But today, when I tell you 450 on the market, that's a different game, because 450 on the market in Burlington right now is also showing a picture of some homes that are sitting for quite a long time. And usually it's the ugly ones or the smoker homes or the houses with like 17 cats that stay on the market for quite some time. But we are seeing some more where people are actually considering their options and looking to what they want to spend and where they want to go, and they're having time to strategize. So I think, again, like 450 on the market to you may mean nothing because it may not be where you're looking to sell. And it might be that townhomes in that particular area, there's only 4 on the market. And that is, in fact, still a seller's market. There's just never one number that's going to fix it all. The last thing I want to leave you with today, because obviously I have to speak to you all individually, but nobody knows when we're going to hit rock bottom. And what I like to tell people is, do you want to buy on the way down or on the way up? If it were me, I'd want to buy on the way down. We're getting home inspections, we're getting financing clauses, and you don't have to compete. On the way up, as soon as we hit this low number, things will just go so quickly you won't be able to keep up with it. Give me a shout today, and I will happily talk about that with you some more. My number is 289-218-8119, or you can reach me at Andrea at FlorianRealtyTeam.ca. Have a great day.